Thank you, Dr. Vipan. Myself, Dr. P.K. Kapoor, Principal, Khalsa College of Veterinary Animal Sciences, Amritsar. My dear learned senior professor, faculty members, students, learned participants from other places who are attending this webinar very enthusiastically. And I feel great pleasure and honored to welcome you all in the webinar on the occasion of 21st World Veterinary Day, which we are going to celebrate now. And first of all, I congratulate you all and extend my heartiest greetings on the occasion of World Veterinary Day. As we all know that World Veterinary Day is celebrated on the last Saturday of April every year. And keeping the trend this year also, we have virtually assembled to celebrate this World Veterinary Day. World Veterinary Day was initiated by World Veterinary Association in 2000 in order to propagate the importance and contributions of the veterinary profession to society. And annually it is celebrated annually on the last Saturday of the April. As all know that KCVAS has been participating very actively to celebrate all the occasion and particularly World Veterinary Day. Last year also, we have celebrated it very enthusiastically when the theme was environmental protection for improving animal and human health. Now this year again, KCVAS is celebrating World Veterinary Day. As we know that we are running a very bad era or a COVID era in which people are suffering very badly. And that's why we have decided to celebrate it on digital platform. So events that already we have conducted yesterday, that is essay competition, and today morning we have conducted one quiz competition on this occasion. And now the concluding, we are conducting a webinar in which our learned senior professor is going to present keynote address on this topic, which is related to the theme of the this year World Veterinary Day, that is veterinarian response to COVID-19 crisis. Now, as we know that COVID-19 pandemic has led to a dramatic loss of human life worldwide and created an unprecedented challenge to public health as well as food and income security. Till date, there is no evidence that it has proved that the animals are playing a role in spreading the disease. Although a small number of pets, that is cats and dogs, have been reported to be infected with the SARS-CoV-2 in several countries after coming in contact with infected people. The first United States case of an animal testing positive for COVID-19 was a tiger at a New York zoo. As we all know that veterinarians have played a key role to fight against the COVID-19 crisis as soon as it headed towards becoming a pandemic. Whether it was research, testing of a large number of human samples, or providing essential services at doorsteps, veterinarians are actively supporting the human health sector. Veterinary professionals have volunteered in hospitals, laboratories, and epidemiological studies to track the disease spreading curve, which has helped in the development of effective public health interventions. Now, the contribution of Dr. Albert Bourla, the Chief Executive Officer of Pfizer, a veterinarian in first ever COVID-19 vaccine development, is remarkable and it is well known. The veterinarians were giving their essential services round the clock during the sensitive period of lockdown because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, there can be no better day than the World Veterinary Day to celebrate the hard work and dedication of veterinarians to emerge as challenge and achievers amidst the unrest. Now, at the end, I again welcome you all with the remark that we must remind our veterinarians oath and do our professional work with conscientiousity and dignity. Following the principles of veterinary medical ethics, we must accept our profession as a lifelong obligation and work for important improvement of the professional knowledge and competency. And with this remarks, I am going to close my welcome remarks that good veterinarians talk to animals and where the great veterinarians hear them to talk back. So Jai Hind, Jai Veterinary Profession. Thank you very much. Over to Dr. Vipan.
Thank you, sir. Now moving on to the next event, it gives me great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for the event, Captain Dr. G. Dhananjay Rao. He is professor and head of the Department of Veterinary Surgery and Radiology at Khalsa College of Veterinary and Animal Sciences, Amritsar. Dr. Rao is a graduate of Madras Veterinary College. He did his master's and PhD with gold medal for Best Thesis Award in Veterinary Surgery from the same college in 1986 and 1997 respectively. During his career, Dr. Rao has served as Founder Dean, College of Veterinary Sciences and Animal Husbandry, Jalukhi, Nagaland, Professor and Head, Department of Veterinary Surgery and Radiology, College of Veterinary Sciences and Animal Husbandry, Celsi, Aizawl, Professor, Veterinary Surgery and Resident Veterinary Officer and Head of Emergency and Critical Care, Madras Veterinary College, Tanuvas, Chennai. And he has also established and was in charge of first animal blood bank in India at Tanuvas, Chennai. He has also served as captain of Remount Veterinary Corps in Indian Army. He holds outstanding professional records with more than 100 research publications in international and national journals. He has also presented more than 130 research papers in international and national conferences. And he has written 6 books and created interactive CDs. He has also handled 3 research projects as principal investigator and 5 research projects as co-principal investigator. And there are a number of elite rewards to his name: Best Outstanding Dean of the Year 2020, Higher Education Leadership Award, College Dean 2018, and Lifetime Achievement Award, Veterinary Surgery 2015, Army's Commander Medal 1987. He is also recipient of 8 gold medals of Best Paper presented in the International National Symposiums of Indian Society for Veterinary Surgery. He has also served as ex-Vice President and Zonal Secretary, South Indian Society for Veterinary Surgery. He is also the ex-Joint Secretary and Vice President, Small Animal Practitioner Association of Chennai, former Executive Member, Federation of Small Animal Practitioners, Association of India, and members of different veterinary societies. Dr. Rao is a person with excellence who has spent a lifetime developing the art of surgery with research interest in regenerative medicine and stem cell therapy, wildlife anesthesia and surgery, and small and large animal anesthesia and surgery. So now let us welcome Dr. Rao for his presentation. If you have any queries during presentation, you can put your queries in the chat box. That will be taken care of later on. Thank you very much. Now, I request Dr. Rao to please give his presentation.
Yeah. Slide. I can speak.
Yes, sir.
So good afternoon. Wish you all a happy World Veterinary Day 2021. So my speech will be on career opportunities for the veterinary student who is going to graduate. And then what happened during the COVID-19, the reflections of the veterinarian. This is how the coronavirus has taken the world spinning and still spinning day after day. So the opportunities, yes, they are very bright, very futuristic, and the road ahead is brilliant. Many opportunities. A degree in veterinary medicine not only qualifies you as a veterinarian, but also opens doors to related careers in areas such as research, wildlife, conservation, and especially animal welfare. The areas of veterinary medicine includes private practice, teaching and research, regulatory medicine, public health, uniform services, in industries, and in civil services. In animal husbandry departments of the central government and state government as veterinary officers, and in cooperative dairies, entrepreneurship, pharmaceutical companies, remote veterinary corps of the Indian Army, paramilitary services like ITBP, BSF, CRPF. And we have opportunities in civil services as IAS, IPS, IFS, apart from being administrative services in the state. In banks, insurance companies, private poultries, dairy farms, stud farms, race courses, diagnostic laboratories, animal welfare organizations, zoos and national parks, slaughterhouses, teaching and research organizations, pharmaceutical companies like marketing and research. In private practice, you can examine the animal, vaccinate, diagnose the diseases, perform medical and surgical treatments, prevention of transmission of diseases, advise the owners how to keep their pets hale and healthy. And in practice, you have companion and exotic animal practice. It's a combined practice which includes dogs, cats, horses, amphibians, ferrets, rodents, fish, reptiles, and rabbits. Then you have food animal practice, where you treat for poultry, pig, beef, cattle. Mixed animal practice is large animal and small animal, both animals you treat. And there is one specific, species-specific animal practice, equine specialist, canine specialist, like that. Then apart from that, you have specialists, surgical specialists, dentistry, orthopedic, ophthalmology, cardiology, anesthesiology, and so on. And in teaching and research, so these two are sometimes combined, sometimes they are separate. Only teaching, you take classes, and in research, you go for research projects, or you guide a student who is doing research. Teaching and research includes prevention, solve health problems in animals and people, develop ways to reduce or eliminate the threat of any disease. There is another one is known as regulatory medicine, wherein you look after the quarantine, transportation of animals from one place to another place or one country to another country, test for presence of diseases and supervise animal shipments, enforce animal welfare laws. Public health is the most important aspect. Studies the effects of pesticides and other pollutants, make sure medicine and food additives are safe and effective, investigate any outbreak of disease, evaluate the safety process of food and water supply to the people. Then the opportunity in uniform services like Remote Veterinary Corps, BSF, CRPF, CSF, ITBP and SSB. In industry, pharmaceutical, to develop, test and supervise production of drugs, chemicals and vaccines. The CEO of Pfizer, the first COVID-19 vaccine was produced, is a veterinarian, is a DVM and PhD in biotechnology. And he has assured India that he will supply vaccine at cost rate. So these are the industries: animal hospitals, veterinary clinics, animal rescue centers, zoos, farms, animal research labs, where a veterinarian can get a career. An industry, vets working in pharmaceutical and biomedical research firms develop, test and supervise the production of drugs, chemicals, biological products. They usually have specialized training in pharmacology, virology, bacteriology, pathology, parasitology, toxicology, nutrition, endocrinology, and so on. Vets are also employed in the management, technical, sales and services side, marketing, agri-businesses, pet food companies, and pharmaceutical companies. And most interesting aspect for the students, you don't want to work in India, you want to fly out, then there are some opportunities. The better options are USA, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK. USA, you have visa problem. It's a lifelong struggle. And for that, you need to clear GRE, TOEFL, IELTS. Then you have to opt for ECFPG or PAY program if you want to practice. So first you have to decide what and why you want to go abroad and what you want to do before planning to go abroad. You need to first decide. So one is the clinical side, the other is the graduate research programs. So for clinical sides, you have to studies, you have to need to have internship, residencies, clinical research. And if you are opting for research in non-clinical or paraclinical subjects, then you need to do MS, PhD and interdisciplinary subjects. The difference between graduate study and clinical studies. Clinical means learning and practicing as a vet. Graduate programs is research scientists who can be involved in various disciplines, and both are having different approaches. Why this difference? A vet in USA needs a license and a DVM or equivalent degree. Our degree is not equivalent. You have to get the license to make your degree equivalent. But if you are a faculty, no need for license. But you can practice and it is restricted to the university practice only. Whereas for MS, PhD, no need for license because 5-year BBSc is comparable to a graduate of science. Next is the most important aspect is the money, the funding. Funding for graduate research is possible through assistantship, scholarship, what you call as part-time jobs. Whereas in clinical study, that is not possible because it is considered as a non-degree certificate program. So you are not eligible for any assistantship or scholarship. What you need to know, graduate study, you have to clear GRE and English exam, that is TOEFL. Whereas in clinical study, you have 4 exams, the resources are very limited and you need to have funds. BVSC is recognized but not accredited. You have to write an exam to get your degree accredited and licensed to practice, because our degree is not equivalent to DVM. Now there are two programs if you are going to opt for a clinical future. That is, one is ECFPG certification, what is known as Educational Commission for Foreign Veterinary Graduates, which is accepted by all the states, veterinary regulatory boards, and the federal government of the USA. The ECFPG certification is also accepted by Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. The other one is known as the PAVE program, Program for the Assessment of Veterinary Education Equivalence. It is recognized by 40 plus states in the United States and 3 other countries, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand. In ECFPG, you need to clear basic clinical science examination, which has 225 questions, multiple choice questions, which are computer based. In PAVE, you need to qualify exam, which has 300 questions, similarly computer based MCQ questions. In ECFPG, there are 4 steps. One is, first you got to register, application, and you need to send proof for graduation. The next one is English language ability. The third one is basic clinical sciences knowledge. Fourth one, clinical skills assessment. In the first step, you have to register. An applicant must complete the online application and submit $1,400 US, which has to be transferred through a credit card or through a bank, along with 2 photographs. And then you have to send proof of having graduated from the college, which is to be certified notarized photocopies. No originals to be sent. Remember, no original copies, anything, no originals to be sent. And the ECFPG, if the student is in the final year, he or she has to send the previous 3 years of transcript cards, and once she finishes or he finishes the 4th year or the final year, then he has to send the remaining certificate, which has to be within 1 year. And all these certificates are directly verified from the dean or principal of the college, who has to send back after signing the certificates. Step 2 involves English language ability. That is TOEFL or IELTS or CAL assessment. And there are some universities which do have waiver policy, where you can skip these exams. The TOEFL exam, you must score 25 for listening, 22 in writing, 22 in speaking, and 23 in reading. And you have to pass all the exams. Another one is IELTS, International English Language Testing System, which is conducted by the British Council and IDE Education in Australia. For ECFPG program, candidates choosing to take IELTS must take the academic IELTS. I'm repeating, they must take the academic IELTS. The minimum required score on academic IELTS is 6.5, with at least 6.5 in the listening band, 6 in the writing band, 7 in the speaking band, and no minimum reading score is required. And all the candidates must pass all sections of the academic IELTS in a single examination. The next one is the Canadian Academic English Language, which is conducted by the University of British Columbia. For ECFPG program, candidates choosing to take CAL assessment must take each subsection of the CAL assessment. The minimum required score is 60. That is overall score, with at least 60 in the listening band, 50 in the writing band, and 60 in the speaking band. And all you have to pass the required sections. Step 3 involves basic and clinical sciences knowledge. All candidates who enroll in the ECFPG program must pass the basic and clinical sciences examination, what is known as BCSE, so that you can complete the ECFPG step 3. The AVMA, that is the American Veterinary Medical Association, is the one that conducts BCSE exam, which is a computer-based examination having 225 questions of multiple choice. And same time, the Canadian National Examination Board is also conducts BCSE as part of its certification program in Canada. In addition to all this, when you are applying, you have to submit a validated surgical experience documentation, that is of the proof of having performed in the 5-year period orophysterectomy as a primary surgeon and at least 5 additional surgical procedures as either the primary or the assistant surgeon. The 5 additional procedures may be ovariohysterectomies or other surgical procedures, but each documented surgery should involve all elements of an aseptic surgical procedure, including gowning, gloving, draping, and use of sterile instrumentation. Validation of surgery experience can be provided by 1 or more veterinarians licensed to practice veterinary medicine in any international jurisdiction. Step 4 includes clinical skills assessment. The clinical skills assessment, that is otherwise known as clinical proficiency examination, is the first part. It is a 3-day, 7-section hands-on clinical skills examination, which most of us fail. Most of us or all of us will fail. And what you call it as racial discrimination, it is there, it is evident. It is very, very difficult for an Indian to get through this exam. And if you are getting through, you are very lucky. Then comes program for the assessment of veterinary education equivalence. This is the most convenient, the most easiest in terms. When you compare with ECFPG, this procedure is good, provided you have enough funds. So, as usual, an online application has to be done, and both theory exams can be written from India. No need to go anywhere. All theory exams. Only practical aspect has to be done at USA. So, the completed application form for PAY program includes letter of intent, why you are choosing this program, what you are going to do after that, all that has to be mentioned. Then your curriculum vitae, copy of passport, and photocopy of your degree, transcript grades, photocopy of TOEFL results, and 3 letters of recommendation from your faculty. So the PAVE steps include: PAVE is recognized by 45 states and territories in the United States, territories in Canada, as well as countries of Australia and New Zealand. The steps include GRE TOEFL application, qualifying science examination, that is theory, and you need to go for 45-week or 1-year rotating internship. Then you have to write an AVLA exam, North American Veterinary Licensure exam, and you get license. So 45-week or 1-year rotating internship is offered by very, very few universities on payment. No assistantship you will get. The qualifying science exam was designed and developed exclusively for the PAVE program and required to be qualified by the PAVE candidates. It covers all the basic science or pre-clinical subjects taught in the first 3 years of the BVSc degree program. The exam is offered 3 times in a year, that is January, May, and September. It consists of 200 multiple questions, that is operational questions, and 25 multi-choice pilot questions derived from the test specifications, and it takes about 220 minutes in one single block session. A 1-year program, what I was telling, consists of core rotations in veterinary diagnostic imaging, clinical orthopedic surgery, clinical soft tissue surgery, equine field service, equine medicine or equine surgery, small animal internal medicine, small animal general medicine, food animal local practice, food animal medicine and surgery, anesthesiology, ophthalmology, primary care externship, and diagnostic medicine, which are completed along with 4th-year students. 4th-year students of DVM of that college. In addition, 12 elective credits are required. At the completion of each rotation, faculty will complete a clinical clerkship evaluation and a copy will be provided to the paid participant. Then you will go for NAVLA examination along with the 4th-year students, and if you pass, you will get your license to practice. Definitely, you are going to make one awesome veterinarian. I wish you all the best. Next part of my lecture is about the response of veterinarians to the COVID-19. What has happened to change life as we know it had significantly affected the global humans and animal populations. And yet, through this challenging time, veterinary medicine meaningfully and rapidly evolved, demonstrating veterinarians' ability to cope, adjust, and adapt, and to continue in their role as leaders of animal health and welfare and public health. Veterinarians are tough guys. So we started with lockdown. The history says the first ever lockdown happened, what you call it as, if you know Hindu mythology, Lakshman Rekha. And the another warning, you need to wear your mask properly. You need to avoid impressing the virus by wearing designer masks. So this is what happened. Rags to riches, riches to rags. Most of them, they have become rags. They wish, especially people who were earning on daily wages, they have become like this. And some people have made opportunity of this situation to become rich. So veterinary health care, vaccination, deworming, emergency cases, community dogs. What happened to community dogs during this time, during lockdown? And when practice is closed, depriving the animals of veterinary care, what happened to the veterinary education? What happened to the veterinary students? We started online classes, practical exams, and in US, they mobilized more than 200 vets in assisting the vaccine delivery. What was the impact? There was almost a 35% of decrease in cases for regular checkup, and 15% in dental health checkup, and 35% in vaccination, and others 15%. Who benefited because of COVID-19? The manufacturers of masks, designer masks, PPE, sanitizers, gloves, syringes, vaccine, hospitals, TV channels, oxygen, liquor, ambulances, and cemeteries. We have conducted hundreds of webinars, especially on clinical topics. Intas, the pharmaceutical company, has joined with some universities, Hatvet, and in the lead are Tanuvas, Duvas of Mathura, Duvas of Isara, Gaduvasu of Ludhiana. The life went on. Recruitment for faculty of various colleges went on through Zoom, which was never before happened. And faculty joined as and when there was relaxation of lockdown. The elections for the Veterinary Council of India was also conducted. Dr. Umesh Chandra Sharma was elected as president. And during this time, many new private colleges started. Few of the government colleges also started. The biggest blunder we have done was mobilization of migrant workers en masse. They have uniformly spread the COVID-19 across the country. That is what happened. That is the contribution and the blunder we have done. And during this time, many of the veterinarians have published articles, especially with regard to COVID-19. One is from Seleshi, Mizoram, Dr. O. Chowdhury. And all the institutes switched on to online classes. The first was to conduct from Nagaland, the remotest northeast area, and the distance education system, which we were never comfortable, has become to stay. And it has started from LKG onwards. And of course, during this time, many of us have simply gifted our BVSc degrees. And during this time, Dr. Jeet Singh, my good friend, has always been posting upcoming and great achievers in the field of veterinary profession. And one of that was Miss Priya Somani of our college, for her passion for animal welfare, who is a third-year student of our college. These are the online classes. This is how it happens. And degree. And when you have online degrees, we have to expect some blunders. Some private colleges that have come up, we don't know how truthful they will be. You need to wear your mask properly. She is the girl who have love for animals. So some studies they have conducted with regard to switchover of online classes. One from Om Prakash Chaudhary of Mizoram, and one that is regarding anatomy. And his study revealed that there is no difference between online classes and offline classes. Whereas in toxicology and parasitology, they varied. They differed from what the findings of Dr. Om Prakash Chaudhary. Dr. K.M.L. Pathak also published an article with regard to tick infestation in dairy cattle and its control. Dr. K.M.L. Pathak was a former DDG of Animal Sciences ICR. And during this time, COVID-19, the Madras High Court has ordered that animal welfare should be included as a subject in schools. That's a very, very good move. And the government of India also has come up with a law that attracts 75,000 fine or 5-year jail towards cruelty to animals. And the central government has asked all the states to allow veterinary hospitals and clinics to work amid virus lockdown. Different states had different standing on this. Now the center has uniformly instructed that veterinarians should be permitted to visit their clinics to treat ailing animals. And the latest one is 4 Crore Dog Center opens in Panchkula for abandoned dogs. And the Karnataka government is outsourcing veterinarians to track cow slaughter. We lost not many veterinarians across the country, and we do pray for their families. And during the period 2020, there are outbreaks of some diseases like parvovirus, lumpy skin disease in cattle. The difference between humans and animals would never allow the dumbest of the herd to lead them. And during this time, Dr. Prakash Rao has been elected as President of the National Academy of Veterinary Sciences, Major General M.L. Sharma as Secretary General, Dr. A.C. Vashane as Vice President. And Vice Chancellors were also appointed during this time, even though there is a pandemic COVID-19. Dr. Gurudayal Singh of Hisar, Luwas, has been given another extension, another term. Dr. Salo Kumar of Tanuwas has been appointed as Vice Chancellor. And the most important thing is the Professor K.K. Sharma of Guwahati, Assam Veterinary College, Khanapara. He has been awarded Padma Shri, the only veterinarian, if I am correct, for his contribution toward elephant management, elephant science. Appreciation, and that too, which included a veterinarian, Sudhakar Natarajan, for his achievement. The Indian Army trains indigenous breeds, Chippiparai Cocker Spaniel, to detect COVID-19. After completing their studies, research, and they have come out with the news on 9th February. Then on 21st April, that is 3 days back, the Pennsylvania University says during its study, it found that dogs can detect positive COVID-19 samples. So we are far ahead in research. So I request everybody to go in for vaccination. Do not read or listen to rumors. And there is a chance that some may get COVID even after vaccination, and that is normal. A veterinarian is an individual who does precision guesswork based on unreliable data provided by those of questionable knowledge. So this is how when you enter aircraft. Now High Court exempts veterinary doctors from poll duty. That is a very good news, some good news, happy news for some of them, but it is a constitutional duty. We need to go for election duty. So during this time, the most important thing is the availability of blood bags in Pune. So Vishal Salunke has informed that the blood bags which is been FDA approved is available from Pune.
A few more participants.
Yes, the next news is about if you want to become a faculty, you need to have PhD from 2021. So Pashudan also awarded so many awards, hundreds of awards to veterinarians in different fields. For the 2020, the Indian Veterinary Association of Kerala has been awarded for their activities. And the extent of alcohol we have used to wash our hands is so much, it's unlimited. Thank you. Wish you all the best. Any queries, please let me know. Thank you.
So if you have any queries, then you can ask sir by writing your query in the chat box. So thank you, sir, for your valuable information you have shared with the participants. Then moving on to the announcements of results of essay competition and quiz competition. We had essay competition and quiz competition, so I would request Dr. Varshney to please announce the results of essay competition and quiz competition. Those participants who have received awards, they are requested to please open your video, open your webcam so that your faces are visible.
Thank you, Vipin. Happy Veterinary Day, World Veterinary Day to everybody. And I would like to congratulate everybody on World Veterinary Day. We have finalized the result of essay competition. I will announce the results. The third prize goes to Tushar Arora. Tushar Arora. The second prize goes to Miss Harsha Gupta, roll number 21. Then first prize goes to Shubham Arora. Shubham Arora. So congratulations to all the winners and thank you, Vipin. As far as results of the quiz competition are concerned, results of quiz competition, Mr. Katman Kaur, Miss Katman Kaur, first winner. First prize goes to Katman Kaur. Second prize goes to Rahul Chadha. Third prize goes to Shrikant Vallabhai. And fourth prize goes to Miss Neeru. And fifth prize goes to Miss Priya Somani. So these are the results of quiz and essay writing competition. Congratulations to all the winners of the essay and quiz writing quiz competition. Thank you. Over to Vipin.
Thank you, sir, and congratulations to all the winners. Now I would request Dr. S.B. Bakshi, Professor and Head, Department of Veterinary Epidemiology and Public Health, Chairman of Organizing Committee, vote of thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Vipin. Am I audible? Please
Yes,
confirm.
sir.
Thank you so much. My colleagues from veterinary fraternity, boys and girls, I convey my heartiest greetings to you all on the special day, which is World Veterinary Day. My congratulations to the winners as well as the participants of this program. We have had a quiz program organized today and the essay program was yesterday. There was a lot of participation and I appreciate the participation, especially by my students. Good afternoon and Sat Sri Akal to you all. It has been an honor to be among such an accomplished group of participants, especially the esteemed speaker also, who has been very nice. And it has been, I have been assigned the part for the concluding of this session, as well as presenting the vote of thanks to you all. The lecture by Captain Dr. Dhananjay Rao, Professor in Head Veterinary Surgery and Radiology, has been very informative for the students as well as for the teachers also. And I hope the students will be benefited by the presentation on the topic, which is very relevant and covers the theme in full, as well as it has provided information on the opportunities which are available to all the veterinarians in India as well as abroad. He presented a holistic view of the present scenario and the opportunities available during the even in spite of the pandemic of the COVID-19 going on. As chairman of the media cell, KCVAS, I, Dr. S.B. Bakshi, feel privileged to place on record our sincere thanks to the principal, Dr. P.K. Kapoor, chief patron of today's webinar, and also Dr. S.K. Nagpal, managing director, Dr. S.S. Sidhu, director, VCC, who are the patrons, members of the media cell, coordinators of quiz and essay competition. The coordinator of the quiz has been Dr. Manbir, and for the essay competition, it has been Dr. C. Varshne, who has been the chairman, and Dr. Nishal Datta and Rabjot Kaur have assisted him as members. I also place on record my thanks to all my faculty members and members from the non-teaching staff who have contributed in success of this webinar. A special mention of Dr. Reni Ralte, Dr. Vipin, who have done a lot of work. Basic paid work has been done by them. So it is all appreciations for them. I would like to close my remarks and announce the end of webinar, wishing best of health and safety for all the participants. Thank you for your attention, all participants. Over to Vipin for the final concluding word. Thank you, Vipin. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. So now we have come to the end of this session and the celebrations of World Veterinary Day. I, Dr. Vipin Kumar, along with my colleagues, Dr. Abrar Wani and Dr. Rajanveer Randhawa, who are the coordinators of this event, we wish you a good day ahead. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir.
And sir, before everyone goes, I would like to request everyone to open their video so we